Guys, myself Nigma Sispadi from beginner to pro.in. So let's start our first chapter, which is fundamentals of C. So first we will focus on some of the theory parts which are also asked in the interviews. So our first point is, what is preprocessor directive? A preprocessor directive is defined as a C program line which is starting with has. A C program line starting with has. Okay, it is going to give instruction to the preprocessor. C program line starting with has, which is going to give instruction to the preprocessor. Now guys, you might be thinking that what this preprocessor is. So the preprocessor is a system program that modifies a C program prior to its compilation. Preprocessor. It is a system program which modifies C program prior to its compilation. Now our next topic is library. A library is a set of functions and symbols which may be accessed by a program. Let's say example stdio.h, string.h. These are the library functions which are already pre-included in the ID which you gonna install, or the online editor which we are going to provide. The library functions are pre-installed. You can use that in the program. Later on I'll show you where we are going to declare the library function. So library is a set of functions and symbols which are going to be accessed by the program. So guys, we have already discussed on three theory which are preprocessor directive, preprocessor and library. So let's have a quick note. A preprocessor directive instructs the C preprocessor, okay, and the other one is the has include, which is a directive instructs the C program to load the definition of header files into the C program C program, which is going to be used during the compilation. So I'll write that Preprocessor Directive is going to instruct the C preprocessor that how to work, what to do. Now another one is has include. We'll learn later upon this. Now we'll focus on the theory part only. Has include is a directive which is going to add the definitions of C header files to the program, which is going to get used during compilation, which is going to be used during the compilation. Guys, after the quick note, we are going to move to a new point, that is constant macros. What it does, a name that is replaced by a constant value and then it is being sent to the compiler. So our point is constant macros, a name that is replaced by a particular constant value and then it is sent to the compiler. Let's have an example for this. Let's say has defined KMS 1.609. What it defines, that is a name, okay, that is replaced by a particular constant value. That means KMS is replaced by 1.609 and then it is sent to the compiler. Okay, let's make a quick note that this directive replaces the constant value to the variable in each occurrences in the C compiler. So the this directive replaces each occurrences of the variable. Okay, this directive replaces each occurrences of the variable in the C text programs by the constant value which is defined. What this note describes that it replaces each occurrences of this KMS in the C program by the constant value, that is 1.609. So it replaces the variable KMS by 1.609 in the program. So our next topic is comment line. What is a comment line? It is defined as beginning with beginning with slash star and ending with star slash. Okay, and it does not run by the preprocessor or the compiler. Okay, what this comment line does is it begins with slash star and ends with star slash. It it is only required to let the developer know that what he or she is doing in that line, but it is not recognized by the preprocessor or the compiler, which is a plus point to the developer that he will know that what that line gonna do. After the comment line, we are going to cover another point, which is declaration. What it defines? It defines that the part of a program that tells the compiler the names of memory cell in a program. Okay, it sorry the part of a program, the part of the program that tells the compiler the names of memory cell in a program. Okay, this declaration, the work of the declaration is that the part of the program means the C program which we are going to write, that part of the program is going to tell the compiler that these are the names of memory cell in a program, so that the compiler will easily able to know the memory locations, okay, from where it is going to get those values. Okay, now our next topic is executable statement. What is the work of this executable statement? This executable statement converts the code into a machine language, and then it is being executed or compiled. Executable statement. So the executable statement is the part of the program or code the part of the program or code is converted into machine language instructions, and then it is being executed. Okay, before moving to our next point, let's have a quick note. The quick note is that a function body has two parts. That is, one is declaration and another one is executable statement. After writing, I will tell you how it is. The function body part. The function body has two parts. Okay, one is declaration, another one is executable statement. Okay, let's say have an example. Let's have an example that, let's say we are taking main function. Okay, first part we do is the declaration. What we do declare here? We declare here the data type with the variables. What those variables gonna accept, which type of numbers, is it whole number or decimal number, we are declaring first. So our first part is declaration. Then executable statement. Okay, here it is nothing but, okay, we are writing the code only. Then converted to machine language, and then it is sent to the compiler. Okay, so our next topic is standard identifier. Okay, so what is this standard identifier? A word having a special meaning, but one that a programmer may redefine. Okay, it says that a word having a special meaning, but one that a programmer may redefine, but redefinition is not recommended. Okay, let me write that. What is the standard identifier? A program have a spatial meaning to which a programmer may redefine, but redefinition is not recommended. Okay, we'll discuss later on why this redefinition is not recommended. In the next part, I will write a sample program. There I will show you the theory parts which we have discussed earlier. So our first part is preprocessor directive. What is a preprocessor directive? A C program beginning with hash is called preprocessor directive. Then you might be thinking that what is the preprocessor? The preprocessor is this part, which helps the C program to compile this library files. Okay, then we'll we focus on what are these library files. These are the library files which are already predefined in the C functions. You can check you can check and install an ID and check for that stdio.h, where you will find this stdio.h as a library file. What this will do, stdio.h contains a bunch of coding statements, executable statements, which will get included when the program will start executing. Then this is also a preprocessor directive. Along with this is the preprocessor. Then what this defines, from the name itself we can know that it is a define, which is going to give a value to KMS. Means we are declaring a constant. It is a global constant. Okay, where we are declaring the value 1.609 to the KMS. That means in the program anywhere you can use this constant and you can get the value from here. Then we are declaring main function, and the type of the main function is integer type. So we are using the main function as an integer type, and foremost thing is that the program will start executing from the main function, and it will look for if you are declaring the integer type, then what this function gonna return, its return type must be of integer also. The return type is integer. You can look that I have defined here 0, which is which is defining that the return type is integer. Then here, what is this double? This double is the data type. We are telling our compiler that these are the two variables. These are the two variables. We are telling compiler that the variables will accept only the values which are of double, means which are having the decimal point or floating numbers. Example, you can consider that 4.05, 3.99. Okay, so we are telling that these miles and KMS in small letter, I have written here in capital and I have written here in small. This KMS and miles are going to accept double type. Then where these are the two identifiers. So now we'll look at what these two are gonna do. Printf, it is gonna print the prompting message in the screen. Prompting message to user that you need to enter the distance, and then giving a blank line to enter the distance. It will act as an input operator. What this scanf gonna do? This scanf gonna accept the input from the user, which is of double type. Okay, which is of double type, and it is gonna store in the variable miles. As we have seen here that these are all variables. So we have got the value miles. Then what we are going to do? So the work of this is now over. Now we are going to have some arithmetic operation. It is the arithmetic operator. Okay, so what we are going to do? We are now going to calculating the kilometers. Okay, here it is the constant. It is the constant KMS which we have defined earlier, which is also global. Means you can access it anywhere you want. So what this line gonna do? We will see this in briefly. So this KMS is now declared here. Means in the value of KMS we are going to write 1.609, which is that we are getting the value from that defined constant and then an arithmetic operator which is the multiply and miles which we got from the user. We are going to store the result in KMS. Always remember that if you are declaring something like that or something like this, then always the value will be stored from right to left, not from left to right. This is the main point you are going to remember. It is not telling the compiler that you are assigning. Y is not assigning the value to Z. It is assigning the value of Z to Y. This is the main point you need to remember. Always from right to left. Now we have the value stored in kilometers. Okay. So now again we are going to print the value to the user. So we have written kilometers, which is going to print in the screen as a prompt message. Here we have somewhere written prompting message. Okay, it will prompt the message kilometers, and this is the type, data type. It is the floating data type. And percentage F. We'll learn more about in future lectures. Ampersand F, data type, and kilometers. If we will declare it as integer, then there will be a problem. It will not show the decimal part. It will only show the whole number. So that's why we have written declared here as a float data type. Then what this main function gonna return? It's nothing going to return. That's why I return 0.